Here are the 12 things that Minnesotans know and newbies don't. Hey everyone, welcome to Minneapolis Living. I'm Nick Sundahl with Acta Homes of Keller Williams Classic Realty Northwest. Before I get into the 12 things that Minnesotans know about but newbies don't, please hit the subscribe button, and while you're there, ring the bell so you're alerted every time I upload a new video on Tuesdays and Fridays. Now, the first thing that Minnesotans know about, well, it's actually what they worship. I'm not talking about a biblical deity. I'm not talking about even just going to church. I'm talking about Target. And more importantly, their red card. That's right. Minnesotans shop at Target almost exclusively for whatever you need. And more importantly, they've got red cards because you get 5% back on everything you purchase. It's an incredible, huge no-brainer. And no, I am not getting paid to sponsor. Number 2, we buy motorized vehicles that we only use 2 months out of the year. I'm talking about snowmobiles. Typically, you'll find them in greater Minnesota, outside the metro area, but these things are usually done for recreational purposes. But more importantly, when you get a lot of snow, they can get you from your house to the bar. Number 3, for those that own a second home, they probably own a third home. And that's right. Here in Minnesota, we have not only our primary residence, but a lot of people have cabins or lake houses. And that third house is an ice house, and that's for ice fishing, because not only can you fish in the summer months, well, people go out in the middle of a lake, they drill a hole, they drop a line in, and you gotta stay warm somehow. So they typically buy these big, huge, oversized trailers that they smack right dab in the middle of the lake so they can fish all year round. Number 4, we spend an abnormal amount of time warming up our cars or keeping them warm. First thing you do when you wake up before you even get ready for work is you go outside to the driveway and you start your car just to make sure it'll start in time for you to take off for your morning commute. But even more so, before you're running into Target, a lot of people will just leave their cars running. That's because it gets so cold here in the winters. You got to keep the car warm, so you get right back in and you make sure that it keeps running. Number 5, this is one of the most unique citizens in Minnesota. It's the guy who wears shorts with a sweatshirt in the middle of winter. Typically this happens sometime in February because they know that spring is on the way and they're just getting their body acclimated. Number 6, if you decide to move to the Twin Cities, no matter where you live, no matter how well off you are, you have to hate Edina. You could have a $10 million property out on Lake Minnetonka and Edina are still cake eaters. Number 7, we don't call it soda, we don't call it Cokes or Cherry Cokes or Sprite Cokes, we call it pop. Not even soda pop, just pop. Number 8, it's Duck Duck Grey Duck. Don't at me. Number 9, this is probably my least favorite feature about myself, my family, and everybody I know that's a native Minnesotan, the long goodbye. I can't tell you how many holidays I have to give 3 or 4 hugs to the same person and tell them, can't wait till we see each other next time, or start talking about the weather before you even have to leave. The point is, goodbyes take forever here. It's best to do the Irish if you really want to leave and just not say a word. The 10th thing you need to know about Minnesotans, there's probably a meat raffle within about a 5-minute drive of you. Typically you'll find these meat raffles at VFW's, American Legions, or maybe even your favorite watering hole, but this is where you buy a raffle ticket and they give you packages of meat when you win. I'm not exactly sure how this started, but it probably comes from the Depression era and where people were scrounging for food. I have no idea, but here in Minnesota, meat raffles are almost a way of life. Number 11, the minute a restaurant opens up its patio for dining, you have to sit out there and eat. I don't care how cold it is. This is what long-suffering Minnesotans deal with in their winters. It's all we have to look forward to is dining outside the minute we can. And the number 12 thing that Minnesotans understand that newbies don't is that your weekends, even in the spring and summer months, are going to be spent freezing your butts off at an ice rink. Because if you have kids, they play hockey. And if they play hockey, well, you're with them every weekend, all weekend long, no matter the time of day, and it's in a cold ice hockey rink. So get used to it. So those are the 12 things that only Minnesotans know and newbies don't. Are you considering moving here? Would you like to chat about it? What more do you want to know? Please comment below. Or you can reach out direct. Call, text, email, slide into my DMs. Honestly, I would love to hear from you. This is Minneapolis Living. I really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.